Hello everyone, welcome back to another NFL video. In this video, I'll be giving my Week 17 recap, so let's get into it. First off, with Monday night, of course, we'll not be talking about the game's outcome as it was suspended, and most importantly, the health of the player is more important than the game. So DeMar Hamlin, safety for the Bills, second-year player out of Pitt. I got injured. Of course, pretty horrific. I mean, he almost passed away on the field. Almost in the hospital, passed away. So hopefully he gets better. I think every fan and player and coach in the league is thinking about him. Hopefully he gets better. I'm not sure what's gonna happen with that game. Not gonna be played this week. The Bengals still gonna play their game against the Ravens on Sunday. The Bills, I'm not sure if they're gonna play their game. So that's for that status. I don't really know, but some improvement at least in his health from what I've heard this morning. Now on to the games. Thursday night was the Cowboys and the Titans. The Cowboys won. They pretty much they weren't playing that well, but later in the game they pretty much just ran away with it. Dak Prescott threw two interceptions. Kevin Byard getting both of them. I believe Kevin Byard broke a record for most interceptions in Titans history. So franchise history. So that's good for him. The Titans are still falling off. They still have a chance to win their division if they beat the Jaguars, but I don't know if that's going to happen with their current state. Cardinals and the Falcons. I was actually thinking the Cardinals were going to win this game. I picked the Falcons, but when I saw the score pretty late in the game, I thought the Cardinals would actually win, but the Falcons ended up winning on a game-winning field goal. I guess they put up a close game. I mean, these are two similarly, talented teams, talent-wise. I'm not saying they're really talented, but none of them have much going for them. I thought Atlanta had a little bit more going for them, mainly because Arizona has less going for them. Kyler Murray getting hurt, Cliff Kingsbury probably being in his second to last game here coaching in the NFL. And the Falcons did win the close one. Bears and the Lions. The Lions were back to playing the way they should and absolutely dominated the Bears. The Bears could not pass the ball at all. Only 7 completions all game. The Lions dominated in any way they wanted on the Bears defense. So the Bears might get the number 1 overall pick if they will lose next week, which they probably will, and if the Texans win, which also could happen because they play the Colts. But the Lions, I mean, let's see if they make the playoffs. Week 18. If the Packers win, if the Seahawks win, which they probably will beat the Rams, the Lions will already be out. If the Lions, if the Seahawks somehow lose, I do think the Lions will beat the Packers anyway. But it might be all for nothing. Well, I mean, I guess you could ruin the Packers season, but I mean, the Lions, I think, should get in the playoffs over the Packers. So hopefully they catch a break with the Rams beating the Seahawks. Broncos and the Chiefs. Well, first game without Hackett. And Russell Wilson and the Broncos offense actually plays well. They played a really good game, and then they lost. Had a chance to win at the end. But I think if I was a Denver fan, I'd be happy with how they played. Russell Wilson looks solid. Their defense does not really look that good, but they were in the game against the Chiefs. Had the lead in the fourth quarter, I believe, in the third quarter. They really could have won. As for the Chiefs, that's probably concerning. Coming playoff time, not a performance you wanted to see, but at least you do get the W. Dolphins and the Patriots. Well, Teddy Bridgewater and Skylar Thompson combined were not enough to beat the Patriots. The Patriots defense forced a couple of turnovers. They helped out their offense a lot. Stayed on top of the game. I think the Dolphins had a lead in the first quarter. I don't think they led the rest of the game. It ended up being pretty close, but the Patriots won mainly because their defense. Let's see if their defense can carry them into the playoffs. Do I think the Patriots are a good enough team to be in the playoffs? No. Do I think the Dolphins are? Yes, but they've fallen off a lot, and they won't have to win next week either. So they might have just blown a 8-3 season. Colts and the Giants. The Giants, well, kind of made me wrong here. I said the Giants would win, but are not a good enough team to absolutely destroy a team they should destroy, and they absolutely did destroy the team that they should have destroyed. 38-10, clinched the playoffs. Maybe they are actually ready for the playoffs. As for the Colts, they have pretty much nothing going for them. I guess they have a nice defense, so if they get a quarterback that's not a veteran, it's actually good. Maybe they can actually have something going for them if they also get a good head coaching hire, but that's 2 big ifs. Giants, we'll see what happens in the playoffs. Saints and the Eagles. Well, the Eagles, this was surprising because last week they kind of proved that without Jalen Hurts, they're still a good team that can play well. They lost against Dallas, sure, but it was a close game. This game, they proved that they need Jalen Hurts really badly because the rest of the team without Jalen Hurts played bad. The Saints, I don't know how they won. For the Eagles, Gardner Minshew looks like they did not even play that bad. Dalton did not play that good. He got sacked 6 times by the Eagles. Kamara, had a solid game, but not the most amount of carries. So, pick 6 by Lattimore really helped out, getting 7 points there for the Saints. The Saints did, I feel bad though because they had a great performance on the road, won, great upset. All that's great, and then you find out later you're eliminated from the playoffs. Kind of brought down the mood a lot, because they pull off a great upset, and then the destiny did not go their way, I guess. So they're out of the playoffs, 7-9. Panthers and the Buccaneers. The Panthers are also out of the playoffs after this loss. The Buccaneers won and clinched the division. They'll be the 4 seed, playing at home against the 5 seed in the wild card round. I think they'll lose, but we'll see. Now they're at 500. A solid game. Mike Evans having a really great game. Brady having a really good game. The Panthers kept up in it. Darnold having a nice game as well himself. Dante Foreman did not do anything though. A week after dominating the Lions. So very on and off player it seems this year. Dante Foreman for them, but the Panthers did not play that bad, but not getting into the playoffs. Browns and the Commanders. I thought that the Commanders could still keep up even with Wentz at quarterback, and that's not what happened. Wentz, their offense completely shut down with Wentz, and they lost to the Browns. Their season is now over. The Commanders had a crazy turnaround to the year. They started off really bad. They then beat the Bears on Thursday Night Football in a very ugly game. Then after that, they turned into a very good team, Heineke at quarterback. And then they won a lot of games. Over 500, by about 3 games. I think they were like 8-5. Then, a lot of losses. Then Wentz comes step back at starter. Lots of losses. Wentz has a bad game this week. They're out of the playoffs that quickly. At least they were able to turn their season around to a respectable season, but still had a good chance to make it. Lost their opportunity to the Giants. Who beat them once, and they tied with the first time. So. As for the Browns, they're already eliminated, but at least you do like to see this. I believe Watson threw three touchdowns, so most of it coming in the second half. Most of his good work coming in the second half, so at least that's something good to look at. Amari Cooper having a pretty nice game, 3 catches, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards. Jaguars Texans. All right, well, yeah, I thought I was trying to be too smart for my own good here. I thought the Texans would win because of whatever I said last video. I know what I said, but I'm not gonna repeat it. The Jaguars absolutely whooped them. The Texans, they were playing well in other weeks against even better teams, so I don't know why they shut down against Jacksonville. Jacksonville played really well, though. That's good to see. That's very, that's exactly what you want to see heading into that must-win game against the Tennessee Titans. If they lose, they might not get in the playoffs. I'm not sure if they would as a wild card. No, I don't know. It would be close. But if they win, they win the division anyway at the 4 seed and have a home playoff game against the 5 seed. And unlike the Buccaneers, I think the Jaguars can actually hold their own. They already beat the Ravens, who our team, they might play in the wild card anyway, because the Ravens are the current 5 seed, and the Jaguars already beat them. So I would trust the Jaguars in the playoffs more than I would trust the Buccaneers. 49ers and the Raiders. Well, the Raiders played really well. The 49ers, big win streak almost ended to the Raiders. Now, if I was the 49ers, I would be worried because your defense, the playoffs are about to start. Your defense should allow 500 yards. Now, in their defense, they did not have any film to study on Jared Stidham, but 500 yards, 34 points. Sure, they had 2 turnovers forced, but they were absolutely dominated. Their run defense was solid, but the pass defense was getting dominated all game. No one could cover Devontae Adams. The Raiders had a slew of receivers do stuff. Their pass game looked good with Jared Stidham throwing the ball, taking hits as he was throwing the ball. Not being scared to rip it downfield, avoiding checkdowns. Which in some cases I thought he should have checked it down, but he was very aggressive. Jacobs got hurt twice in the game, so I'm not gonna say they should have used him more because he missed some action there, but still got 17 carries. The 49ers offense played well, though. McCaffrey looking very good. Kittle had a touchdown, but not very effective in the game otherwise. Brian Ayuk had a really good game with Deebo Samuel's absence. Looked like a true receiver one in this game. I don't think he is a true receiver one, but he looked good in this game. So I'll apologize for calling him overrated in the offseason. Or maybe it's 2 offseasons ago, but I used to call him overrated. But maybe I was wrong about that. He just dominated my team, so I should not call him overrated anymore. Brock Purdy had a nice game. The interception was, whatever. He had a good matchup. Kittle on Amik Robertson, a smaller corner, and he took the matchup, but it did not work out. However, the 49ers offense looked good. That's good to see. The offense already has looked good, but they used to get kind of slack for being a worse at offense and defense. With Jimmy Garoppolo, their offense looked really good in this game. However, their defense does have to improve. Their defense is already very good, but they can't play like this again in the playoffs, is what I'm saying. Jets and the Seahawks. Well, I thought the Jets facing elimination would play a lot better. Mike White being back, I thought he would play a lot better. I thought the Jets offense would be a lot better with Mike White instead of Zach Wilson or Chris Streveler. But that did not happen. Only 6 points on a pretty bad Seattle defense. Seattle offense, the Jets defense is good, but there's only so much they can do. The Seattle offense found ways to get the ball to the playmakers. on their team, as I kind of thought they would. Metcalf only had 3 catches, 3 yards on 1 catch. Lockett, I'm not sure if he did much, but a bunch of other guys doing their thing. Fant had a touchdown. I believe Kendall Walker had a good game. Geno Smith, a solid game, 183, 2 touchdowns. It kept on top of the Jets the whole game. Vikings and the Packers. Well, the Vikings took an absolute beating. I did think they could stand in there a little bit, so play a little bit better, and hold their ground, but they did not at all. There's games where they just get blown out. I don't know why that's happening. The Cowboys, the Packers, this game, not week 1, and the Colts before they made a huge comeback. Their team is 12-4. They have an amazing offense. Kevin O'Connell seems to be a good coach. Their defense is not good, but and they win clutch games. But they also have the ability to completely not show up on game days. I don't know if I would trust them in the playoffs, even though they are a very talented team. As for the Packers, good game on you. You're now 8-8. I thought your season was over a long time ago, so I will say it's a good resurgence to at least be in the position to make the playoffs. I'm not sure if you'll beat the Lions, but I do like this. I do like at least controlling your own destiny. You're not relying on any other teams to win or lose, like the Lions are. Rams Chargers. The game started out pretty close, and then the Chargers ran away with it. Eckler had a good game, receiving and rushing. Herbert had a nice game. Mike Williams, a nice catch. For the Rams, Cam Akers looked good, but that's about it on their offense, it seems. But they're trying to get out of the year, whatever. The Chargers look ready for the playoffs. Sunday night, the Steelers and the Ravens. Well, the Ravens did it again. They had a lead in the fourth quarter. They blew it. The Steelers did it again. They were down. Their defense was playing well. Their offense was playing bad. Then their offense scores twice, 2 touchdown drives to get them the lead, the win. They did it, so they did that again. Kenny Pickett with another game-winning drive. But their offense did not play well. Their defense did play well. The Ravens choked another game. They need Lamar back, and not just this year, to make not just for the sake of their team this year to make to what they're going to do in the playoffs, but for upcoming years. They cannot, their offense is not good without Lamar, and they can't easily replace Lamar with a quarterback that can at least make it good. Greg Roman's probably not even a good offensive coordinator as it seems. So Lamar Jackson is pretty much carrying him as well. And John Harbaugh can't hold leads apparently, even though he is a good head coach. So another alarming loss for the Ravens in the fashion that it happened. It's not new, but this close to playoff time. I mean, you already have the spot clinched, but imagine if you did not have a spot clinched. It would be the same as last year. Lamar gets hurt. You have a good record. You don't make the playoffs because you keep losing games and blow your season. That can't happen because they already clinched. But can you imagine if they did not clinch at this point? Anyway, that was my Week 17 recap. I went 10-5 this week because I'm not counting the Bills-Bengals game. My record now in the year is 157-98. But anyway, that was my Week 17 recap. I'm Martin. Thank you for watching.